time to wash off the first month of the season. It has not gone the way the Cubs or the fan bases hope. So let's wash it off. Fresh start tonight in Colorado.
Millennials.
Oh, now that we've scarred your eyes and ruined your appetite at dinner time, let's start the show.
He's Luke Stuckmeyer. I'm Layla Rahimi. You are in the loop. Let's go, no huddle. It took 6 hours, but the Yankees outlasted the Cubs at Wrigley early this morning. No time to worry about a sweep because the champions are in Denver, starting a new series tonight against the Rockies right here on CSN.
Prized White Sox prospect Yoan Moncada named the International League Batter of the Week, and in about a week's time, he could be up with the big club. Moncada Watch officially on.
It's better than Cap Watch.
Yes.
Nick Schmaltz took one on the chin at the World Championships against Sweden. Watch that hit. Gabriel Landeskog levels on Schmaltz. Landeskog also a Colorado Avalanche. Schmaltz had to leave the game.
Days after telling us he'd gained 45 pounds in 3 months in his offseason training, Bears lineman Kyle Long tweeting, "Come at me, bro," because Long included this pic of his random drug test notification that he received today from the NFL.
Hashtag. Kyle Schwarber's diving catch into the stands was drawing Derek Jeter comparisons, and why not? They were playing the Yankees. It's an easy comparison to make at that point, even if unfortunately it was in an epic loss. This was fun to watch anyway.
Caption that catch. Send us your best caption ideas for this picture of Schwarber's catch to our CSN Facebook page or our Instagram account, and send it to us also on Twitter at CSN in the Loop. Schwarber's catch, definitely a must-see category, but it's not alone.
No, that entire game was bananas. That said, it is our Lexus must-see video. Experience amazing.
And what a night for baseball. What a series we've seen so far. Could we be looking, at a World Series preview?
Nothing like not being in the starting lineup and taking a BP, say, 5 hours ago on a freezing cold night, and then being asked to come off the bench against a Aroldis champ.
Almora lines one towards center field. That's a base hit. A run is going to score. Going to third is Jay. An RBI single for Albert Almora Jr. And now it's a 4-2 ball game. It's not over yet. The runners lead, and the pitch. A swing and a ground ball, left field base hit. Almora around second. He was running with the pitch. Almora safe at third. Run scoring single Baez. It's a 4-3 ball game.
Hit him in the arm, and that brings in the tying run, and Rizzo in a lot of pain. And that's all for Chapman. He may have been a Cub and a guy they loved last year. He's not that now. Headley pops one up down the left field line, and what an effort! Did he come up with it? He's got it! What a catch! Schwarber makes a phenomenal catch!
This is Derek Jeter-esque, is he?
And he knows it's coming. I mean, that's the thing. It's not like you see guys sometimes go over because they're just watching the ball and it just hits them off guard. He knew it was coming. He saw it.
That's as good as it gets.
Just trying to check for the wall, and I thought I was going to stop at the time, but I just fell over. So luckily I landed on the flat ground and felt good.
Our ball game here has gone deep into the night. It is now midnight locally. Tommy LaStella's got his rally batting helmet going here as we go to the bottom of the 17th inning. Rally catcher's mask. You know what? I think people are starting to go a little squirrely down there. Ground ball to short, runner coming home, throw is wide, and the Yankees have the lead. 18th inning, Chasen Shreve facing Kyle Hendricks with the tying run at second and the winning run at first. Swing and a miss, and it is over. The Yankees win it in 18 innings. They blew a lead in the 9th, but they eventually win it 9 innings later in a very strange, memorable night.
Nothing like stats in a game like this to put it into perspective. The 48 combined strikeouts were the most in a game in Major League history. The 18 innings represented the longest interleague game in baseball history. Yankees had 7 pitchers with 2 or more strikeouts, the most for a game in MLB history, and the Cubs fell to 12-11-2 all-time in 18-inning games. Here's Anthony Rizzo after it was all said and done.
I know we lost, but you got to try to have fun with it. It's 18 innings, both sides. Our bullpen very short, and them giving us a solid performance. John pitching deep, so we just didn't win.
A crazy game. It'd have been nice to have won it. We've lost 2 crazy games against these guys on this homestand, and what are you gonna do, man? Just move it forward.
My biggest takeaway from that Anthony Rizzo interview was the fact that there was a Brizzo souvenir company mug in the background. So what is your biggest takeaway from the Cubs this weekend? Do the Cubs need a 5th starter? I'm uncomfortable. Are you feeling unlucky and injured?
Well, at least Rizzo's okay. That's the good news. Those are your choices, though. Time for the live fan vote. Go to csnchicago.com/vote. We will keep the poll going all show long and have those results coming up later in the show.
I felt like I was a legal hotline for a second there.
I was worried about Rizzo, I'm not going to lie. We bring in our Kelly Krall, who is at Coors Field tonight. Kelly, what's your biggest takeaway from that Cubs-Yankees series?
Yeah, I've got to go with you guys. I mean, the fact that these guys are all still healthy. You're seeing Kyle Schwarber in the lineup tonight after that catch he took going over the wall there. I mean, looked like a football player running through that, right? And then Anthony Rizzo also saying today, well, hey, it's not broken, so I'm out there to play. You got to grind. You got to keep going through this. And even Javier Baez in the lineup tonight in place of Addison Russell, and we saw him take one off the foot last night. So I think, the pitching, the 5th starter option, they'll work that out. They'll figure it out. But right now, you got to be glad that these guys are still healthy after playing like they have been.
So how's the weather out there? Looks pretty nice.
Not so great, guys. I didn't know a meteorologist would be part of the job as well. But yeah, it was maybe 2 hours ago that they had an incredible hailstorm, dime-sized hail. And I've seen it before where they're tapping for maybe 3 or 4 minutes and then you move into another aspect, rain, right, or something like that. But this went on for a good hour, and truckloads of this was being, hauled off the field just a few minutes ago. They're using, snow shovels to pile it onto the back of the trucks and take it off the field. The field is heated underneath. I mean, they get snow out here quite a bit, and so they have a way of dealing with it. But right now, I don't foresee this game starting on time. So I'll put it that way. Not the best weather I've seen, Luke.
Yikes. Anything else we need to know about tonight's game if it happens?
Well, it was funny. Joe Madden came out, met with the media, and said, guys, I'm too asleep still to be doing this. But he felt like he went on to say it feels like a triple header, and I think that's to be noted from all of these guys, right? They're tired. Hang with them. They will. I love the fact that he said Miguel Montero has come up with a new T-shirt idea, DWI across their chest, supposed to stand for deal with it, which I love because the truth is they're being asked quite a bit right now about these Sunday night national games and how it affects them moving into a Monday game that they've now for 2 weeks in a row been delayed going into the Monday. They land today 6 a.m. Chicago time, jokingly saying, good morning Denver was in its 2nd hour, which to any of you know that's still very early in the morning. But these guys just have to deal with it, right? Everything that comes with it, the schedule, the delays, the grind that is baseball season, and they're not the only ones doing it, and that's how they're looking at it. So yeah, between hail, dealing with the schedule, everything that goes along with Baez being in tonight and Addison Russell getting a break. He said, hey, I'll put Chris Bryant out in right field, and that'll be a vacation for him. That's how they're looking at it tonight, guys. A short bench, but doing all they can just to get out here and get this one underway.
All right, if we have a hail delay, we'll just deal with it. Thanks, Kelly. Appreciate it.
There you go.
I actually like that a lot, the deal with it.
Yeah.
I think that's a good move. Kelly, thank you again. So today's Why We Love Sports. Anthony Rizzo is a cancer survivor. He does not boast when it comes to helping others survive the disease. And there is more proof of that today. The Rizzo Family Foundation committed to donating $3.5 million to Lurie Children's Hospital, and it will be used for both financial aid for the patients and their families and also to hire 2 oncology child life specialists. Their job is to help normalize patients and their families' experiences while they are in the hospital.
Bravo to the Rizzo Foundation. Moncada Watch is on. We'll tell you what you need to know about the White Sox top prospect through the eyes of the people who've been watching him play in the minors. Jose Quintana may be available to the highest bidder. Cubs have a need and the prospects to make that move. We're making the case for a Chi-Town blockbuster deal. And it's the catch that had you shouting, no, 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 yes.
Yes, yes, no.
We'll stack Kyle Schwarber's effort against some of the other top Cub catches over the last 10 years. You're in the loop.
This program on CSN is brought to you by Weber Sauces and Seasonings. For the best grilled taste, go to the expert, Weber Sauces and Seasonings. Call grilling flavor up to the bigs.
Hi, Russ for U.S. Waterproofing. Looking for a company to repair your home can be stressful. Look to us, as many of your neighbors have, like Mrs. O'Brien in Elmhurst. We sealed cracks in her crawl space. Or Mr. Weber in Orland Park. We installed a battery backup sump pump. And Mr. Kaplan in Northbrook. He needed structural repair after he noticed cracks in his brickwork. We've helped many of your neighbors.
Schedule your free consultation today at uswaterproofing.com. U.S. Waterproofing, a better basement starts with us.
The legends of tennis are coming to Chicago with the Power Share Series. John McEnroe, Andy Roddick, Jim Courier, and Mark Philippoussis compete in a unique one-night tournament. May 17th at UIC Pavilion. Timeless tennis mastery on full display. With a twist. On the Power Share Series, these legends call their own lines. For tickets and VIP packages, go to PowershareSeries.com or Ticketmaster.com and be part of the excitement May 17th at UIC Pavilion.
Papa John's Double Play, 2 medium, 2 topping pizzas for only $6.99 each.
A deal so big it needs a replay.
Double better ingredients means double better pizza.
Papa John's Double Play, 2 medium, 2 topping pizzas for $6.99 each.
Papa John's.
Inside the rack houses of Jim Beam, every barrel's aged 4 long years for a fuller, smoother flavor. Our history's made from the inside. How will you make yours?
With a Channel 4 News exclusive. Brian?
And to watch. The mood is tense. I have been on some serious reports, but nothing quite like this. Tried to get an interview with him, but they said, nope, you can't do that. He's a live bear. He will literally rip your face off.
Great story. Compelling and rich.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Brian Fantana makes a lot of good points in that movie.
Great
60% of the time, it works every time. Okay, so maybe Moncada Watch isn't quite as insane as Panda Watch, but they definitely have the same intensity. One has a much bigger payoff because it's actually real.
That's
the top prospect for the Sox, likely to be called up very soon. He's been putting on a show in the minors, and he won't rip anybody's face off.
No, this story might not be compelling and rich, but we are telling you what you need to know.
For me, it doesn't really come with any type of pressure. All that I'm very grateful. Obviously, I'm grateful to be named, the #1 prospect. But for me, I just got to keep doing everything, everything that I've been doing, and just keep working hard and trying to get better every day.
It's easy to lose sight of the fact that he's only 22 years old, and when we acquired him, he had fewer than 200 plate appearances at the big league level above Double-A under his belt. Fewer than 200 plate appearances above Double-A under his belt. There's still a fair amount of development that has to happen with this kid, not just from a baseball standpoint, but from a physical standpoint and from a maturity standpoint. And we've just been thrilled ever since he showed up at camp, even going back actually to our January hitters camp, with the way he's embraced instruction, the energy with which he's gone after any challenge that we've put in front of him. He's not a finished product yet. There's still elements of his game that are going to improve both here in Charlotte and then ultimately once he gets to Chicago.
He's super talented player, so smooth at second base, super athletic,
and beautiful swing. So, yeah, just to be able to have him in the lineup every day, hitting, at the top of the lineup, that him among the other guys, you're going to have a really good chance to get some runs on the board for you when you go out there to pitch.
He carries himself already like a big leaguer, and I don't mean that like in an arrogant way. He's just very confident. He looks like a ball player. And when you look at the way he plays, he's gotten better since day one. His defense has gotten better. He's continuing to hit well. He just, obviously you can't forecast what he's going to do, but he certainly, is looking and acting the part of a guy that has a chance to do big things.
And congrats to Yoan Moncada. Sox Twitter sent this out. Coming soon to Sox Twitter. Welcome back to the Bigs.
In case you missed it, Brett Anderson allowed 5 runs on Saturday while recording just 1 out, and that prompted our producer Ryan McGuffey, from the White Sox podcast, to tweet, quote, assuming Cubs fans were willing to discuss a package for Jose Quintana centered around Ian Happ, #White Sox.
Would the Cubs and Sox brass actually pull the trigger on this? Highly unlikely, but we brought in Cap and David Haw to make their case on if and how this deal could get done. Representing the White Sox, we start with David from the House of Haw.
The House of Haw. Okay, I like that. If you're the White Sox, why not? I think that you don't rule out somebody just because of geography, because of rivalry. You have to look at the Cubs because they have, before they had everybody became major leaguers, they had the best minor league system in baseball. They have prospects like Ian Happ. They have other guys at that level that you want, you covet if you're the White Sox. You should not rule out the Cubs just because they're the Cubs and you're 8.1 miles away from them. If it's the best deal, it's good business to execute that deal. Quintana, you don't want his trade value to go down any more than it has. I think that you have to be aggressive. Rick Hahn, get on the phone, make an offer, ask Theo if he's interested.
Look, 2 years ago when you talked about maybe moving Chris Sale, the White Sox had not seen the Cubs win and did not want Sale to be on the mound as the starting pitcher who helps end 108 years of idiocy. Now, the Cubs are like any other team. If the Sox won't deal with the Cubs, that's on them. This makes sense for both sides. You center it around Ian Happ. You put a couple of lower prospects in with it. You get back a friendly contract, a really good starting pitcher. Absolutely, the Cubs and Sox should be talking.
All right, Cap. Now, we know that you are Captain Cubby, and your new Cubs book is a hot seller, I believe, #1 on the list. What was your reaction to watching the 18-inning marathon at about 1 a.m. last night?
I was fast asleep.
Oh,
after the Jacoby Ellsbury 3-run bomb, I was asleep. Or 2-run bomb, I was out.
It's hard work signing all those books. Cap was a tired puppy last night. He had to turn in early because he got another book signing probably right after the show.
Yeah, well, he takes a hot shower in the morning. He shows it to everybody. then he goes and he sleeps on his MyPillow. But why is he still sleeping at work? There's no pillows here. What's going on, Cap, man?
I'm not sleeping at work. I am energized.
That man, we've got the evidence.
No,
ready to go.
When Cap works, everybody else watching sleeps.
That's pretty hardcore.
That's the old Nap Man.
Oh,
that's not me.
Oh, that's the old Nap Man.
How did you find out about this, the 18-inning affair?
Woke up at 3:46 or whatever this morning, and I looked on my phone. I go, well, why do I have all these mentions? It's like, Cap, where are you? How come you're not commenting on this game? And I looked and saw it went 18 innings, and I was like, oh, my God. I missed
because the Cubs game
hysterics.
is not the same without Cap on his Twitter machine.
Sound asleep on his MyPillow.
Nat Man, David Haw, we appreciate the time, guys. This is pretty amazing. The Indians' Danny Salazar loaned Jose Ramirez a set of the virtual reality goggles that you can attach to your phone, and Ramirez really got into it, and he fell out of his chair. That's having case of the Mondays. Thank goodness he wasn't injured. How would you report that on a transaction list? Ramirez out, virtual reality fall. Like, how would you even say that?
It'd be up there with sneeze and throwing out your back.
Terrible.
In the Loop, coming right back. Top Cubs catches of the last 10 years. Does Schwarber make that list? I say yes.
Yeah.
You'll see him after the break.
Green light. Go to Oakbrook Toyota in Westmont during the Roarman 510 sales event right now. We've got the right deal. Put you in the driver's seat.
During the Toyota Time Sales event, drive a brand new Camry with $2,500 customer cash back or a Corolla with $2,000 back.
Bob Roarman.
Bob Rohrman's Oakbrook Toyota in Westmont, only 5 minutes west of the Tri-State on Ogden Avenue.
Well, I love it. This piece is so you. I know, right? I saw it and I was just like, oh, I have to have it.
Is it suede?
Suede. Love suede.
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments, there's one of these.
Well, I love it. This piece is so you. I know, right? I saw it and I was like, have to have it. Is it suede? It's suede. I love suede.
That's why we're there with renter's insurance when things go wrong, but also here with a rewards credit card to help life go right. State Farm.
You think traffic's bad now, the future's gonna be a nightmare.
Does nobody like the future?
Come on, the future. He obviously doesn't know Intel is helping power autonomous cars and the 5G network they connect to. This won't happen in the future.
Thanks, Jim. There's some napkins in the glove box.
Okay. But why would I need a napkin? Could have just told me a bump was coming.
We know the future because we're building it.
Your old heating and cooling system is costing you money. Our preseason air conditioner sale is going on now. Get a free in-home estimate plus same-day installation of a new Lennox air conditioner from $24.95. Furnace and AC combos from $36.95. And receive 0% interest financing for 5 years. Plus, we'll beat any competitor's estimate by up to $500. Call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
For all the right reasons, call 866-4Seasons.
Chase Headley batting, hits a fly ball to left, slicing toward foul territory. Chasing the ball is Schwarber. Does he have a play? He dives into the stands. Did he make the catch? What a play! He caught it. He caught that ball. He caught the ball and vanished into the crowd. What a play by Kyle Schwarber.
Well, here are some of the best captions from our CSN Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages. Evan says, I promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Cobbler W says, Schwarber teaching the hokey pokey. You stick your glove hand in, you stick your glove hand out, you stick your glove hand in, and you record the out.
Oh, that was clever.
Ryan on Facebook says, Alou, this is how you do it. Thanks, as always, for helping us out with the interweb stuff. You could easily say that Schwarber's catch would be one of the top 10 Cubs catches in the last decade for sure. Not bad for a guy who's supposed to be working on his defensive skills.
Yeah, not so much at all. So here it is, our list, the Cubs' top catches from the last 10 years. You know this one had to be on the list. April 25th, 2008, Reed Johnson. The insane catch that wasn't center and then ended in left. Just lays out to catch the ball against the Nationals in a tie game. You knew that was going to be on there. It's great. It's good TV every time we see it.
Look how close he was to the wall with his head. Best Cubs catches last 10 years. Well, these have to be on the list. First, Anthony Rizzo's first tarp catch in 2015. And then in 2016, the 2.0 version of the Rizzo tarp catch, glove love from the Cubs all-star first baseman.
I love the second version better. What about last year, May 20th, 2016? Jason Hayward, a new Cub at the time, catches Denard Span's ball to deep right center at a tricky AT&T Park. But Hayward is there. He got shaken up on the play, but we all know that year turned out okay for Jay Hay. That is a tough corner of that ballpark to play.
August 31st last year, bases loaded in the 7th for the Pirates. Cubs up 3, Addy out of nowhere. Addison Russell goes booking back on the pop-up. StatCast saying Russell covered 106.8 feet at 98.5% route efficiency, and my eyes tell me that's pretty good.
It was good, yeah. Still time to weigh in on our fan vote. Oh, the bullpen. What is your biggest takeaway from the Cubs this weekend? They need a 5th starter, feeling uncomfortable, feeling unlucky, and uninjured. As we take a look at Coors Field, CSNChicago.com to cast your vote. Final results are next. You are in the loop.
Hi, I'm Marco Pomani. My dad always stressed the importance of giving people a reason to come to Al Pomani Ford Melrose Park. It's been over 50 years and that tradition continues.
With Chicagoland's best payment on a new Ford, it's a done deal for just $169 a month. That's right. Drive a brand new Ford Fusion or Escape, your choice, for just $169 a month.
It's a done deal. With my exclusive no credit, yes, get it policy, ask for me, Marco, at Al Pomani Ford Melrose Park, 25th and North Avenue. It's a done deal.
The legends of tennis are coming to Chicago with the Power Share Series. John McEnroe, Andy Roddick, Jim Courier, and Mark Philippoussis compete in a unique one-night tournament. May 17th at UIC Pavilion. Timeless tennis mastery on full display with a twist. On the Power Share Series, these legends call their own lines. For tickets and VIP packages, go to PowerShareSeries.com or Ticketmaster.com and be part of the excitement May 17th at UIC Pavilion.
When you paint with Frog Tape, something magical happens because Frog Tape is the only painting tape with patented paint block technology to give you the cleanest, sharpest lines possible. The patented paint block reacts with water in latex paint to form a micro barrier against paint bleed. Frog Tape Delicate even works on freshly painted surfaces, giving you maximum creative flexibility for professional results when you paint. There's only one name to know. Frog Tape keeps paint out, keeps lines sharp.
Did you know that the average funeral can cost more than $8,300? I didn't want my family burdened with the cost of my funeral, so I called Final Expense Direct and got a policy of my own. For as little as $1 a day, Final Expense Direct has policies that can help pay the cost of your funeral. Plus, you'll get this free family relief guide. There's no medical exam, and my policy can't be canceled.
Call now for a free quote. Call 800-254-5431.
This is our Gray's box. It's a great way to snack. Fresh, tasty, and created using only the best ingredients. Choose from our range of over 90 delicious snacks. We'd like to invite you to try a hand-picked box for free. Go to grays.com and we'll send a free box directly to your office or home. It may even help you keep your hand out of the cookie jar.
Go to grays.com and enter the code SNACK76 for a free box.
Grays.com. Snacking. Reinvented.
These are our live fan poll results. How are you feeling after the Cubs and Yankees series? I mean, it was emotional. 48% of you are feeling uncomfortable. Are you sure you're not just tired?
I was going to say tired should have been our fourth option.
Yeah, that's probably what you're feeling. But, you know, let's all be in touch with our emotions.
Exhausted if you're Cap. Let's hope it gets better. Cubs catcher Miguel Montero tweeted this video from the dugout this afternoon declaring there's a window of good weather coming for this game to be played.
In the meantime, that's scary. How about this? The Cubs tweeted the suggestion to Crayola for the new name of the crayon color, Cubby Blue. Are we doing this right? Yes, Cubs, you're always doing the Twitter right. I love that. I'll be voting for
Blue.
that.
Cubs baseball coming up next.
Here's hoping.
Chapter 13 debt repayment plans can deal with lawsuits, foreclosures, car payments, credit cards, payday loans, repossessions, tax debts, medical bills, and more. I'm attorney Peter Francis Geraci. Get one lower payment for all debt and stop creditors now. We're the law firm you trust to get you out of debt.
When you need to be debt-free, call 1-800-CALL-PFG. That's 1-800-CALL-PFG.
Inside the rack houses of Jim Beam, every barrel's aged 4 long years for a fuller, smoother flavor. Our history's made from the inside. How will you make yours?
Hello? This is she.
Is that the doctor?
Okay, wow, really? It's 2? That's great news, thank you.
It's 2?
Yes, it's 2. It's 2 for 1 windows at Feldco.
Feldco is offering 2 windows for the price of 1, with no money down and no interest for 1 year.
2 windows for the price of 1, and soon. Hurry. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Being a fan is hard. We make it easier at SportsGrade.com with officially licensed MLB gear and VIP golden ticket experiences delivered right to your door. Join the club at SportsGrade.com today.
I like it sweet.
I like it hot.
Red gravy.
Baptize it.
Make it cheesy.
Make it hurt.
North side.
South side.
There's one thing
both sides agree on.
Bona beef.
Bona, a Chicago original. The official Italian beef on both sides of town.
This Cubs injury report is brought to you by ATI Physical Therapy, taking physical therapy to a higher level. Ask your doctor about ATI Physical Therapy. Get there.
From ballparks to amusement parks and hot dogs to haute cuisine,
Visit enjoyillinois.com for trip ideas. Brought to you by the Illinois Office of Tourism, proud partner of the world champion Chicago Cubs. Illinois, are you up for amazing?
Chicago's favorite spot for prime steaks, the freshest seafood, and world-famous Florida stone crab. Come on down to Joe's.
This is Cubs Pregame Live, presented by Fields Auto Group.
You are looking at Coors Field just a short time ago. A hailstorm coming down in Denver. Inclement weather at Coors Field. Cubs hoping to get this one in tonight. First pitch scheduled for 7:40 right here on CSN. Hello and welcome to Cubs Pregame Live, presented by the Fields Auto Group. He's David DeJesus. I'm David Kaplan. Okay, lost weekend at home. Yankees take 3 straight. Last night goes 18 innings. So put yourself back in your uniform. How exhausted are you today, or are you pretty much okay?
You're exhausted, but you got some rest on the plane. I think it was a 2-hour flight. Hopefully you can take a nap on that flight. And then you get to probably the hotel around 6 in the morning. You sleep until 1 o'clock, and then you head to the ballpark. So
get something to eat and let's go.
Yeah, I think the hardest thing is going to be tomorrow, when they get accustomed there, because today you're on just adrenaline. Tomorrow's going to be the day where you're going to feel that jet lag.
Second day, hits you hard. All right, plenty of crazy stats after a wild night at Wrigley. A 6-hour, 5-minute game saw 23 position players, 15 pitchers used, 583 total pitches over that 18 innings. Cubs bullpen threw 11 innings a day after tossing 8 2/3 of relief of Brett Anderson. And the two teams combined for 48 strikeouts, a new major league record for a single game. All right, what's the longest game you've ever been a part of?
I've been a part of an 18-inning game that lasted 6 hours and 57 minutes. And I started that game, got the winning hit of that game at around 2 in the morning.
So you played all 18?
All 18.
So do you eat during the game to maintain some energy? Because people laugh, well, you're already into a game. But hey, man, when it goes 7 hours, you got to eat.
Yeah. Every 3 innings, I usually try to get a protein bar or some type of nutrition in me. And so I had probably 6 bars that day. So I felt good. But we had a 1 o'clock game the next day. So I went to bed around 3, woke up around 9, and we were at it, and we won the next day too. So it was cool.
Do any guys eat hot dogs, pizza, like? They can eat maybe not nutritious, but they need food. They need fuel.
During the game, yes. You see some crazy popcorn. Popcorn's quick and easy. You see just peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So anything you can get, any shakes. So guys are just making stuff up because those games are long, and especially the catchers, where they're squatting all day long. Those guys need big-time nutrition.
Yeah, Joe Girardi talked about Wilson Contreras and said, I have never in my career seen a guy go 18 innings and be as energetic and smiling in the 18th inning as he was at the start. He loved him.
He was unbelievable. He was running, sprinting to first base on ground balls. It's great to see someone passionate about the game like that and brings that energy. And I know the team fed off that energy and they couldn't get the win, but he definitely is that guy that brings that life.
Okay, do players get slap happy when, oh my God, here we go to the 15th, here we go to the 16th? Like, are guys just punch drunk, or no, they keep their focus?
It's tough. You know, at that point, you're like, somebody win this game. You know, somebody step up and win. And there's points where you're like, hey, I don't care who it is. Somebody win this game.
Okay, if I had said to you, I'll end it right now, but you're going to lose, would you go, nope, I'll keep playing?
I don't know. There was times where I would have been, hey, let's go. Let's move to the next game because it's going to affect the bullpen. It's going to affect us guys, our physical bodies the next few days.
My radio producer, Danny Zetterman, will bring this back tomorrow. He won't believe it. That's what he said. All right, let's talk about Schwarber's catch. You have been an outfielder your entire career, mostly in center, but you spent some time in the corners. This is a guy that everyone goes, you can't play him in the outfield, he can't play. And I'm never saying he's going to be a Gold Glover, but the catch he made last night was just simply sick.
Yeah, you don't expect him to make that play because that was so close to the wall. But the thing is, he looked twice. He checked it out and then checked it again, and he had that right foot got to the wall, and he flipped over where it didn't jam it into the wall. And it was a perfect flip, and he came out wanting to show that ball to the umpire. So it was a heck of a play. It reminds me of the Jeter play.
Yeah, I love that the first thing, there it is,
There it is.
I got it. But if you watch it again, I don't know if we can run it another time, twice he was able to take his eye off the ball, read the wall, get the ball back, read the wall again, and then dive into the stands. That was the most impressive thing of all, if we get a chance to watch it again. It was tremendous to see the focus, wall, ball, wall, ball.
Especially in Wrigley where the wind, who knows where the wind is blowing there at that time. But yeah, he looked there, looked again right there quick. That's a veteran type of play right there.
Right here, watch it.
One,
there he goes. There's two.
And boom.
Right. You just don't want to blow your leg out.
No.
For the second straight year. That was phenomenal.
He flipped perfectly. That was the perfect way to catch that ball.
All right, it's almost time to get interactive with our show. Get your mobile, laptop, or tablet ready. Head to csnchicago.com/vote. In just a few minutes, we'll bring you our live fan vote. All right, CSN's Kelly Kroll is in Denver and tweeted this video out around 4:30 this afternoon of the hail at the ballpark. Look at that. It was just absolutely brutal what was coming down. There's their tweet. View from Cubs dugout, currently holy hail, and apparently this is supposed to be the best weather of the 3 days here in Colorado. We now bring in Kelly, who is braving the elements at Coors Field with our Miller Lite game report.
Yeah, guys, I wimped out. I'm inside where it's covered now. I'm not down on the field anymore, but that hail was coming down unlike anything I'd ever seen. I mean, maybe 3 or 4 minutes, right? And then it turns into rain, but it went on for a good hour, and they had to shovel it up and throw it onto the back of trucks and wheel it off the field here. And we just were confirmed over the PA announcement here just a couple minutes ago that the game has been delayed tonight. They have not given us an estimated start time, but I suppose you could call it a triple header, right? The team goes through 18 innings last night. They landed about 6 a.m. in Denver, Chicago time, and here they are back at the ballpark dealing with a rain delay in Colorado. There's got to be something about Mondays. I think this is the third rain delay on a Monday, but I'm doubting they show David Ross on Dancing with the Stars here in Colorado tonight for us. But you're not going to get any excuses from the Cubs manager.
The toughest part is getting at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's the part that makes it most difficult. You feel like you have that hangover without the benefits of actually drinking. So it's one of those things you got to fight through in our business. The guys will be fine. We'll be ready to play tonight. If, in fact, we can. From what I'm hearing, it should. If it doesn't start on time, it should be played at some point.
That's another tough thing is that you get ready, then you're not getting ready. You're not sure what's going to happen here. You
know what? Everybody goes through it. I really don't want us to be that group that makes excuses. Our guys are really good about all of this stuff. It just, again, it's part of the industry, the game, and right now we've played well enough to be honored to be put on Sunday nights, and it is an honor. So 2 weeks in a row we've had kind of a tough sledding. However, our guys can handle it.
Madden went on to say that maybe Miguel Montero had the most creative comment of the afternoon, coming up to him with a new T-shirt idea. DWI, deal with it. Whether it's rain, whether it's 18 innings, whether it's a different type of weather, guys. It's cold, it's windy. This team's been dealing with it all season long, and they will continue to. It's the grind of the baseball season, and Joe told me the way he dealt with it this morning, light comes peeking through the blinds, and he says at that point he's up, he does the coffee thing, and then he went down to the spa at the hotel, really likes the spa, and he said then you get to the ballpark, and before you know it, here we are, and we're going again.
All right, Kelly, thank you very much. We look forward to talking to you again. Enjoy your trip out there. All right, Cubs used 8 pitchers in last night's 18-inning marathon with the Yankees. Stroke, Montgomery, Grimm, Dunsing each went 2 innings. Davis, Uehara, Edwards all pitched 1. So the bullpen a little burnt out. They're going to need a big night from Jake Arrieta. And that leads us to our bona fide starting pitchers. All right, tonight the Cubs said Jake to the bump against Antonio Senzatella of the Rockies. Last time out, Arrieta, quality start, 5-4 Cubs win over Philadelphia, allowed 3 earned runs, 6 hits, while striking out 7 in 6 solid innings of work. All right, let's talk about Jake. Again, the Cubs keep giving up runs in the first inning. ERA north of 11. in the first inning, but he settled down then and he was pretty good.
Yeah, he was untouchable after that first inning. The Phillies had no chance against him, but it's that first inning that he needs to get through. He needs to keep the ball down today because these guys are third in the NL in scoring runs. So, and in Coors, the ball travels. So he needs to stay on top of that and just get that bulldog mentality. We need him to go at least seven today. And, you know, then the Cubs have a chance of bringing Wade Davis and Carl Edwards into the game.
Do you look at a guy like Jake? Yeah, last night John Lester goes 120. That's the most pitches he's thrown in a start in his 3 seasons now with the Cubs. Would you say, Jake, I got you penciled in 120, 125. I'm going to need you if you're good tonight.
Yeah, you have to. We have to rely on Jake because this pen has been used before those last 2 games. The pen pitched 7 2/3 twice during the homestand against the Phillies. So these guys are putting in major innings. So if we can get 120 out of him today, the team has a great opportunity to save the pen and use those guys later in the series.
And you got 2 days off, Thursday and Monday, to let guys recharge. So, all right, we'll see what happens. Time for our Miller Lite Cubs fan poll. To vote, visit csnchicago.com/vote. You do not need a special app. Just visit that website, get interactive with David and with me. Today's question is, which crowd catch was your favorite? Okay, in June of last year, Javi Baez did his best Derek Jeter going headfirst into the crowd down in Miami. Then, of course, last night, Kyle Schwarber with the running catch in the stands along the left field line. There's the Baez right there.
That's pretty good. That's good. I don't know if that compares to last night because he was at the wall waiting for it, dove in.
Correct. All right, here's Schwarber last night.
Schwarber, left fielder, just a new left fielder, making a play like this. Man,
it's pretty good.
That's pretty good play.
You've done, you know, that position.
Yeah.
You know how that brick wall feels like going over the top.
That's in your mind when you're getting close to that. So for him to just let it go and be able to, but his feet hit perfectly where he wanted to and flip over nice and softly.
Got to feel pretty cool. Guys are patting you on the back, fans. You're like,
they're bowing to him out there. That's the best feeling.
Awesome. All right, how about Anthony Rizzo's tarp catch back in 2015 against the Brewers on the tarp? Got it.
That's pretty sick. Just the thought of getting up on that and making that play, then throwing it from the stands.
And then getting the ball back in because there's men on.
Those are, I think he did that a couple times.
And then last season, Rizzo outdid himself with another tarp catch. Look at the bald guy coming into the shot. You may not get to see him right there. There's a bald guy right there. That was me. My wife and I were sitting there, and I'm like, whoa!
Hey, you should have made that play.
Yep, there you go, Anthony Rizzo. That catch is now outlawed by Major League Baseball. You cannot step on the wall. The Rizzo catch right there from last year is our winner, 46%. And again, Major League Baseball has changed the ground rules at Wrigley for 2017. You are not allowed to step up on the wall. Tarp, yes. Wall, no. All right, time for our first break here on Cubs Pregame Live, presented by the Fields Auto Group. Chris Bryant continues to heat up. Coming up, we'll tell you why that's a bad thing for the Rockies pitching staff. And relax, this is no time to panic. Cubs are in a very familiar spot. We'll explain when we return. And it is 26 and change until the start of the game. Still time to give Felco a call, 866-4-FEL-DCO. Be right back.
Cubs Pregame Live is presented by Fields Auto Group. Fields matters because you matter. See Fields first. FieldsAuto.com.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, inviting you to become a member of the Fields family when you buy or lease from any of our 31 locations. You also get our Fields amenities that include free loaners, car washes, and our gourmet coffee bars and cafes. And with more than 35,000 vehicles sold annually, you can get a great offer like this.
And now you can lease a new 2017 Maserati Ghibli SQ4 all-wheel drive for only $699 per month for 36 months at the all-new Fields Maserati on Green Bay Road.
And Fields matters because you matter.
We'll always brew our beer to have more taste and be less filling. Because we believe that if you compromise on taste, you can taste the compromise. Miller Lite. Hold true.
So I'm never gonna let you go.
Your home, your auto. Together, they're where life happens. That's why State Farm protects them together to help life go right. Combine and save. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
Who gives you the best in-home Wi-Fi experience? Let's find out. Welcome home. Who's your internet service provider?
I have AT&T.
Does the Wi-Fi keep up throughout the house?
Not very well.
Not very well. Did you know that Xfinity has the best in-home Wi-Fi experience?
She's been telling me that.
Let's pretend this is your house. How's the quality up there?
I give it a 10.
Let's add 5 devices to the mix. How's yours doing?
Yeah, I'm loving this.
We gotta get with Xfinity.
Learn more about the best in-home Wi-Fi experience or get started for $19.99 a month for 12 months. Click, call, or visit an Xfinity store today.
Hey, curly-haired man.
Hey.
You're going to want to sit down for this. Because you can get a large 2-topping Pizza Hut pizza for $7.99 delivered. And with the new Pizza Hut delivery tracker, we'll text you when your order's on the way. The best pizza delivery deal. Now easier to track.
Your official Rolex jeweler is James & Sons in Chicago, Orland Park, and Cherville.
All right, Cubs pregame live presented by the Fields Auto Group. That was what it looked like a while ago at Coors, but the tarp is still on the field, and we are going to be under a delay at the start of this ball game. Cubs 16-15, the Rockies 20-12. All right, now the Cubs have the exact same record that they had back in 2015. So for everybody panicking out there, relax. They're also scoring more and have hit 7 more home runs. This year, the pitching staff has an ERA of 3.93 compared to 4.20 from 2015. But one alarming statistic, Cubs pitchers have allowed 40 bombs so far this season compared to just 28 2 years ago when they had that same record. So you look at the numbers, and pitching has been a little bit better, except for the home runs allowed. You see the offense a little bit better. They won 97 games 2 years ago. Put your player uniform back on. Fan base is panicking a little bit. I had media guys on Sports Talk Live. They're going, I'm a little concerned about the Cubs. Would you be panicking at all as a player?
No, it's still freezing out. Once that warm weather comes around, that's when I felt the best.
And that's when you judge a team?
Yeah, that's when May came around, mid-May. That's when I started heating up, and this team will start heating up. Their numbers on the back of the cards show that they're going to start playing some good baseball soon. And it's just they need a run, and hopefully this trip to Colorado can keep that get that offense sparked.
All right, we'll see what happens. Our starting lineups are presented by the Illinois Office of Tourism. Illinois, are you up for amazing? Schwarber leads off in left. Bryant is in right tonight. Rizzo at first. Zobrist at second. Montero's catching. La Stella is at third. Javi gets the start at short. Jake is pitching. And Albert Almora Jr. with that spacious Coors Field outfield starts in center. Chris Bryant has reached base safely in 18 straight games. Second longest streak of his career. He's also hitting .365 with 4 homers, 9 RBIs during that span, and he plays very well in Coors Field.
Yeah, that's a place to launch some balls at, and I expect a big series from him because that ball just doesn't come down. When you're taking BP there, you're like, man, this is great. Why can't we play here all season long? Right. It's one of those spots where it's like you're playing a video game. And it's just fun to take.
So you can feel it off your bat. You go, whoa, that thing's just flying.
The ball just doesn't come down. It's almost like Arizona, where the ball just keeps carrying. And I expect a big series from Chris.
All right, let's take a look at the Rockies lineup tonight and see what they are going to trot out as they battle Jake Arrieta and the Chicago Cubs. And there you go. Blackmon, LeMahieu, Arenado, who's a stud, Carlos Gonzalez, Mark Reynolds, Gerardo Parra, Trevor Story, really good shortstop, Hannigan, and the pitcher is Antonio Senzatella. And they call him what back in his home country?
El Principito.
Because the King.
The King Felix.
King Felix lives in his town, or grew up in his
same town.
Same town.
Yeah, so that's the guys are calling him the Prince now. El Precipito means the Prince.
There you go.
So.
All right, learn something new every day. All right, time for one final break here at Cubs pregame live. When we return, David's keys to the game. Our key performers will hand it off to Len and JD. Cubs, Rockies, weather permitting, will be under a delay at the start right here at CSN.
This is what precision looks like, helping you see what's hard to see, thanks to Terrain Denali's Side Blind Zone Alert that uses radar to watch your blind spots. So it's true. Mom does have eyes in the back of her head. The 2017 GMC Terrain Denali with Forward Collision Alert, Lane Departure Warning, Rear Cross Traffic Alert, and Side Blind Zone Alert. Step up to GMC and get nearly $4,500 total value on select 2017 Terrain SLE2 vehicles in stock. GMC, we are professional grade.
From ballparks to amusement parks and hot dogs to haute cuisine, visit enjoyillinois.com for trip ideas. Brought to you by the Illinois Office of Tourism, proud partner of the world champion Chicago Cubs. Illinois, are you up for amazing?
I like it sweet.
I like it hot.
Red gravy.
Baptize it.
Make it cheesy.
Make it hurt.
North side.
South side.
There's one thing
both sides agree on.
Bona beef.
Bona, a Chicago original. The official Italian beef on both sides of town.
Did you guys clean my desk?
No.
No. Yes. A little bit.
Yeah, we did.
Tiny bit.
We pranked you. Huh. You're mad.
You're upset. We're so sorry.
You're
We
fuming.
went too
I'm not
far.
mad. Thank you. It's great.
No, welcome to the jungle.
Yeah.
We're gonna go detail Karen's car.
She's gonna be so surprised.
Experience our award-winning customer service and get internet and TV starting at $59.99 a month. Limited time only. Visit Huawei.com.
People are talking about the new Buick. With 4 fresh new models to choose from. And what are they saying?
Your new Buick is so cute.
Love the new Buick. That's a Buick?
Sweet Buick.
Experience the new Buick.
See your Buick dealer and get over $6,600 total value on select 2017 Buick Envision vehicles in stock.
Attention blood clot filter patients. Surgically implanted blood clot filters are potentially life-threatening. Some filters are prone to breaking, resulting in pieces of the filter moving through the body and causing internal bleeding. If you had surgery to implant a blood clot filter, you may be entitled to a cash award, even if you haven't suffered side effects yet. Call the Gold Shield Group now, 1-800-951-3084, to see if you qualify for a cash award. That's 1-800-951-3084.
There you go. Tarp still on the field at Coors in Denver. Hopefully we'll have baseball tonight. Chicago Cubs, Colorado Rockies, right here on CSN. Welcome back to Cubs Pregame Live, presented by the Fields Auto Group. They have a great dealership in Glenview. You need to check them out. Time for our Fields Auto Group. Keys to tonight's ball game. All right, we picked the first one, David says, pain reliever. That means, Jake Arrieta, you got to be that pain reliever for a beleaguered bullpen.
Yeah, these guys have pitched a lot of innings these last few days, so the Cubs need him to go 7+ tonight and give them a break, get right to Carl Edwards and Wade Davis, and get this win.
All right, see what happens. And then we said, no Coors Light. And that means bring your bats. We want the heavy stuff, the artillery.
Yeah. You walk into Coors Fields, you feel like you can hit home runs. So now it's time for the offense to break out of their shell and score some runs this series.
Yeah, they struggled all weekend long. I mean, the Yankee game, they got 6, but they were never in the ball game. They could barely score on Friday, 2, and then yesterday they struggled.
Yeah.
Right. Severino handcuffed them. So there you go. When you stepped into a place like Coors, did it sometimes affect your swing? Because you're like, David can go yard here. I can get this one out.
Yeah, BP, yes, you want to launch. But when the game came, I knew my role. My role is to get on base. I was a leadoff hitter, get on base.
Slap it down the line.
Hey, get on base, let the big guys do their thing. So I didn't really change too much, but BP, yes, I wanted to see how far I can hit the ball.
And I bet it flies.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing.
All right, our key performers today. David has a 6-2 lead on me so far this season. You're taking who?
Miggy Montero. He's hot. Let's just keep riding him.
Yeah, you got Wilson Contreras, caught 18 innings yesterday and was fresh as a daisy and wanted to play tonight. And Joe said, relax.
Yes.
Yeah, settle down.
Come on, buddy.
All right, I thought about taking Anthony Rizzo, but he took a 99-mile-an-hour fastball off the arm. Fortunately, he said, my mom made me drink a lot of milk. He, thank God, did not have a broken bone. I've decided I'm going to go with Tommy La Stella, who's at third base because Chris Bryant's in right.
Oof. That's a nice pickup.
You were mostly a starter in your career, but
yes.
You had moments where you were a fourth outfielder. When you got an opportunity to play after not playing for a few days, like Tommy doesn't get that much run, what was your mindset going into the game?
I want to get a couple hits, so maybe I can get another taste of the game. So it's going to be big for him to come and show that he's ready to, once he gets that start, get some hits and feel good and be a part of the team.
Yeah, totally. Jet lag wise, you said tomorrow might be harder than today because you're on adrenaline.
Yeah.
Any solutions for the jet lag? Any tricks of the trade that players might use?
I wanted the hotel room as dark as possible, even when it was light out. So I always brought some tacks with me, and I'd pin the blinds or whatever it is
curtains?
As close to the wall as possible so no light can get through. So my mind thinks that it's still nighttime so I can sleep my 6 to 7 hours.
How about that? Pat Hughes, the Cubs' great radio announcer, travels with a roll of gray duct tape. He does. And he duct tapes the blinds closed.
Yeah.
And he said, I just leave it that way the entire 3 or 4 days that they're in a city. He goes, I don't want any light coming in because when I'm in the room, he's not there that much. I want to be able to sleep thinking it's night.
Yes. Duct tape, that's a smart little trick. I might have to bring that with me.
If you ever go back to your career as a player, you can bring a roll of gray duct tape with you.
Yeah.
All right, Jake Arrieta goes to the bump tonight, and it is a vital necessity that he is able to throw north of 100 pitches. And then again, Miggy Montero will be catching him. Then they go back to work tomorrow. Wednesday's a day game we'll have right here on CSN. And then a much-needed day off before you go to St. Louis to play in a place that's going to be rabid again.
Yeah, we got a couple series here, so we need to get this first game. This first game is a big game, sets the tempo for the rest of the series.
Relaxes everybody. All right, thank you for watching Cubs Pregame Live, presented by our friends at the Fields Auto Group. Cubs and Rockies, when they get the tarp off the field, we'll keep you posted here on CSN. We'll see you after the ballgame, hopefully a Cubs win, for the postgame show. See you then.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, inviting you to become a member of the Fields family when you buy or lease from any of our 31 locations. You also get our Fields amenities that include free loaners, car washes, and our gourmet coffee bars and cafes. And with more than 35,000 vehicles sold annually, you can get a great offer like this.
And now you can lease a new 2017 Volvo S90 for only $499 per month for 36 months at Fields Volvo Northfield on Frontage Road.
And Fields matters because you matter.
See Fields first at VolvoNorthfield.com.
You could be this guy, making extra room in your all-new Chrysler Pacifica so fast with stow-and-go seating that you'll have more time to watch TV. Or you could be that guy, who will also have more time to watch TV while in traction at the hospital. Get yours at the Drive and Discover Pacifica event. Get 0% financing for 60 months plus $1,000 total bonus cash when you purchase the 2017 Chrysler Pacifica.
Thanks, man.
Imagine if the things you bought every day earned you miles to get to the places you really want to go. With the United Mileage Plus Explorer card, you get a free checked bag, 2 United Club passes, priority boarding, and 50,000 bonus miles. Everything you need for an unforgettable vacation. The United Mileage Plus Explorer card. Imagine where it'll take you.
Honda knows making smart choices can give us better peace of mind. But smart can also be exciting. And with Sport Mode in the Accord, now you can have both. The action-packed Accord. A car and driver's 10 best, a record 31 times. Nothing compares to a Honda.
Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm. And just a few hours after a hailstorm of biblical proportions swept through Denver, we will start under a weather delay tonight as the Cubs and the Rockies will play Game 1 of a 3-game series. We've had our caffeine today. Jim DeShays and Len Casper will preview this series here in a second, but we've got to go back to last night / early this morning. The Cubs and the Yankees played 18 innings.
Yeah, it was like a long movie, and then the ending was really, really bad, and you wish you hadn't stayed up to watch the movie. That's the way it broke down last night. They rally in the ninth, scored 3 runs against Aroldis Chapman, a great comeback. And then 9 innings later, they ultimately lose the ball game. But 8 innings, 6 hours, and 5 minutes, ending at 1:14 Central Time, longest interleague game by innings in Major League history. 48 punch-outs to set a Major League record. Longest home game at Wrigley since September the 2nd, 1986. That's before they had lights.
Yes, you were there in 1986. Kind of lost in the shuffle last night as the Cubs got 7 innings out of John Lester. 31 games into the season. And they've only gotten 3 7-inning starts, but they really needed it last night.
Yeah, it's been a real challenge. The bullpen is banged up. So last night, the day before, combined like 19 innings for the bullpen. They had that long extra inning game against the Phillies as well. So they needed somebody to give them some innings. And John Lester certainly did provide that last night. And they need to get a lot more of that going forward.
Couple of highlights from last night on defense. Kyle Schwarber made probably the best catch of his life. It was Derek Jeter-like as we check out the numbers per StatCast. Fortunately, he's healthy after this spill into the seats.
Yeah, raise your hand if you're holding your breath as Schwarber went flipping into the seats last night. Just a spectacular play. You know he's not going to shy away from a wall. He's not going to shy away from a moving train. But good to see the big fella make that spectacular catch and then make his way back onto the field of play and, more importantly, stay in the ball game.
And Anthony Rizzo got hit by a pitch. It did drive in the tying run, but it was Aroldis Chapman who hit him, and I think everybody held their breath.
Yeah, again, the fastball up and in, and that's the reason why Joe Girardi initially did not want to put Chris Bryant on. I think he was fearful of this very thing happening with Rizzo on top of home plate and that riding fastball from Aroldis Chapman. So it worked out in that the Cubs scored the tying run, but a lot of pain for Rizzo. And this dude he's made out of rocks. I can't believe he hasn't broken a bone yet.
Yeah, he's in the lineup tonight, left wrist and just a bruise at this point. So as we look ahead to this series, the Rockies are the surprise team in the National League. They have the second best record in the league. They're leading the National League West. And let's get into tonight's starting pitchers. It'll be right-hander Jake Arrieta for the Cubs and a rookie right-hander Antonio Senzatella for the Rocks.
Yeah, Arrieta winner last time out against the Philadelphia Phillies. He struck out 7. He gave up a couple of first-inning runs and then allowed just one more the rest of the way. And stuff-wise, I thought it was the best he's been all year. His cutter/slider was really good. They had good jump on the fastball, so very encouraging effort from Arrieta last time out, excuse me.
Senzatella was the rookie of the month, his first month in the big leagues, basically skipped AAA. They call him the Little Prince because he's from the hometown of King Felix Hernandez, and so far so good.
Yeah, glittering numbers throughout his minor league career. Might not be a big leaguer right now if it weren't for a couple of injuries, but an opportunity has presented itself for Senzatella, and he's been lights out. The Rookie of the Month in April. Got a good lively heater, slider, and a change, and from what we've been told, fairly unflappable.
We like the Rockies in spring training, and they are off to this great start. However, one little number to keep in mind is they're unbeaten in one-run games, and we know that thing can be mercurial.
Yeah, 9-0 in one-run games. That speaks to a certain element of luck. Their bullpen has been really good. Their starting pitching has been pretty good. They haven't been great offensively, which is a little bit of a surprise because when you think Rockies baseball, you think a lot of runs.
So we will be under a bit of a delay, but they do hope to get this game in. A pretty dire forecast over the 3 days here in Denver, and the Rockies play on Thursday. So we'll do what we can to get these games in, but we have more to come from Coors Field coming up. And when we do get started, it'll be right-handers Arrieta and Senzatella. Kelly Kroll after the break as we continue.
Toyota time means it's time to go places. Enjoy your new Camry. It's what Toyota's NASCAR teams drive.
Oh, I know.
Right now, get 0% APR for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on a new 2017 Camry during the Toyota Time Sales Event. But hurry, it all ends May 31st. Toyota, let's go places.
I'm only here for a blue dress. Blue dress, blue dress. Blue dress, blue dress, blue dress. Blue dress.
Sometimes it's hard to leave Goodwill with just one thing.
Ah, blue dress.
But it's okay. With your Club Goodwill Rewards card, you can earn points with every purchase for even more savings.
You always amaze me.
I don't care who remembers me. Doesn't mean anything. You win, you go out on your own terms. You lose, they push you out. I may be too old to fight, but I'm never too old to be a legend.
After every Cubs game, stay tuned for Cubs Postgame Live, sponsored by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois, with David Kaplan and David DeJesus. Hear from Cubs players inside the locker room and get a live look inside Joe Maddon's postgame press conferences and more on CSN.
Roll the fancy animation. 2 minutes for boarding, right there. There you go.
He's still going strong. I think we're going to go best of 7.
Welcome back to Denver and Coors Field. It looks like a good sign, right? Well, we are still under a rain delay here in Colorado, but no more hail, so that should be a thumbs up, and we should get game 1 of this 3-game set against the Rockies underway here shortly. Welcome back to CSN, home of your Chicago Cubs baseball, and certainly a long night for the guys. A triple header is what Joe Maddon says it feels like. He's moved some guys around. We're going to see Chris Bryant in right field. Javier Baez is going to get the start at shortstop, but speaking of KB, this was him before the game tonight, just talking about the rest he's getting.
A long game, but I think looking back on it, it'll be pretty cool to tell the story that we were a part of that. We broke records yesterday, some good, some bad. But you know, I mean, it's part of the whole process and part of being a major leaguer is that you're going to go through nights and times where you're tired. But surprisingly, I feel pretty good. I slept pretty good. You know, it's good to be in this ballpark. It's fun to play here, so I feel surprisingly good.
Nice to be so young, and certainly that's a good sign coming from a guy who tells me he likes 8 or 9 hours of sleep. So who knows, KB sleeping into the late afternoon here on a Monday in Denver. And Joe Maddon also talking before the game, a few X's and O's. Check it out, Maddon uncut.
Yeah, it was an incredible weekend. The toughest part is getting at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's the part that makes it most difficult. You feel like you have that hangover without the benefits of actually drinking. So it's one of those things you got to fight through in our business. The guys will be fine. We'll be ready to play tonight, if in fact we can. From what I'm hearing, it should. If it doesn't start on time, it should be played at some point.
That's another tough thing is that you get ready, then you're not getting ready, you're not sure what's going to happen here.
You know what? Everybody goes through it. I really don't want us to be that group that makes excuses. Our guys are really good about all of this stuff. It just, again, it's part of the industry, the game, and right now we've played well enough to be honored to be put on Sunday nights, and it is an honor. So 2 weeks in a row we've had kind of a tough sledding. However, our guys can handle it.
Do you have a roster move?
Not yet. We're still evaluating some stuff, and we will have it for you before the game.
Have anything to do with Peyton Manning? I just saw him walk in.
Oh, really? Missed it. No, I did not know.
Like he was going into the hitters.
That'd be nice. I have no idea. I didn't realize he was here. I didn't.
Skip, what's your relationship with Buddy like going back to
Pepe? Pepe Negro, yeah. We go way back. Well, actually, when I first began with the Angels, when he first began with the Angels, I was already there. When Soch took over, Pepe came in as a pitching coach. I was there as the bench coach, and Rags, Renicky, and Mickey, and the whole group were intact. So that's when it began. We got definitely had the same same sense of humor. Pepe's a bit drier than I am. Enjoyed the same music, like going out at night. We had a good time together, and we just had fun on the bench. And he's wonderful, just as you're seeing him right now. That's who he is.
Strategy-wise, does he think along your lines?
I don't know. I mean, he was more the pitching guy, you know, and he was very good at that. Strategy-wise, I've worked against him a little bit. I know, you know, Pepe's, you know, as a pitching coach, becoming a manager has a really good feel for all this, especially on the National League level. He has different ideas and methods that he incorporates, and he's done a great job. San Diego is fantastic. He's doing a great job here also. It doesn't surprise. He's got great relationship building skills. So I know among his players, he's probably very popular here also. He communicates. He talks to you. There's no BS. It's straight up. That's why they like him.
Hayward's hand okay?
That's what we're still evaluating. Yep.
Addison just getting a day off?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure it out. I mean, small bench, guys playing 18 innings last night. Willie for sure, 18 innings catching. Between Addison and Javi, I just, even though Javi hit his foot last night, I thought let Javi go play shortstop tonight, get Tommy involved. Putting KB in the outfield, I thought he might actually enjoy the vacation out there. So we're so interchangeable. The point was to get everybody in that was not in there yesterday, if we could.
We're like 31 or 2 games in or something like that. It seems like every other series, you guys got something that's emotional.
Yeah.
Whether it's Red Sox, Yankees, ring ceremony, openers. Is that stuff finally over? I mean, and is it taking anything out of you?
I don't think it has. I mean, it's exciting. You know, it's good stuff. It's normally an adrenaline rush. I don't think it's a detractor. The first one, the tough one would be rings and banners. I mean, you know, being received by your fans for the first time since last year, that's the one that really, you know, tugs at the heartstrings a little bit. But playing in Boston's fun. Playing the Yankees at Wrigley's fun, and you know, just like we lost all 3, we could have won 2 easily, and it's not, to me, like I said, nothing's caving in. We didn't win 2 games or 3 games there. If we were playing our best ball, like I said, and we're having this kind of a 50-50 struggle, I'd be more concerned. But we're not, and we have a lot better game in our tanks on a daily basis. So that's what I'm looking at. But it's not I don't think it's the emotional component.
Do you think it normalizes at least at this point? I know we've talked about it a couple times.
Right, you know, right. Coming at 5 o'clock in the morning, hopefully that's not going to take 2 days to get you back right. I mean, sometimes it does. Hopefully not. I don't know, man. I think our guys are up for the challenge. I don't see us as being annoyed or complaining about anything. Last night was a tough one. All this other stuff last night, or even coming back from Boston that night, that was kind of firm. getting in that late and having to play the next night can be difficult.
Joe, you mentioned how overworked the bullpen's been at times. When you see Denver coming up, does it, and just
Yeah.
the, I don't know, reputation this
Yeah.
club has, is it kind
Yeah.
of like, gosh, when do we get a break?
Well, yeah, I mean, like last night, really, they didn't see all that coming, 3 runs versus actually getting any runs against Betances. And if you look at Betances and Chappie's numbers, it's hard to even get 1 point against them. So it ends up we have to get 3, and we do. And then we have multiple chances to win the game and don't. And then my point is you're trying to save bullpen with a whole bunch of different thoughts in mind, and then it's taxed to the nth degree once again. And they were fabulous. Yes, when you go to Colorado, you're always looking, hopefully, to have some kind of a rested bullpen. Normally, even, again, I always draw the comparison, when you manage in Texas and Midland, even if your starter's struggling, you got to stay with them a little bit longer here, or like you did then, because it could happen to the other side too, and just a war of attrition at that point. So we just see how it all plays out again tonight, but no question you'd prefer coming in here with more rested guys.
Joe, do you think there is anything baseball could do to combat those instances of having to play a game 16 hours apart, or is it just part of the game to you?
Well, it happens. People have talked about having an off day following a Sunday night experience. I've talked about that with Brad Lidge last week on our radio show, and I said I'm okay with it. Last night, it's just the fact that the game went 18 innings. That's what screwed that up. Otherwise, we'd have probably gotten in here 3, 4 in the morning, which wouldn't have been awful. I'd say 3 wouldn't have been awful. We could have got a normal night. See, when you're coming in when the sun's coming up at 6 o'clock body time, that's the part that makes it more difficult. Listen, I'm not going to cry about anything. I promise you I'm not. I have a lot of faith in our guys. It was a weird game last night. We could have ended it a lot sooner, and then we didn't even have to have this conversation. So I'm not in favor of changing anything right now. Just as Mickey wants me to put on a T-shirt, DWI, deal with it. That's about it. So that's something we may do in the near future.
Changing anything include, there was some talk today about stopping games at some point, possibly having ties.
No. Again, they don't happen often enough. I wouldn't worry about it. But whenever they do happen, then it's like anything. When somebody makes a bad slide at second base, everybody gets their panties in a bundle, and then the same thing happens on a home plate, and all of a sudden rules change. It's an anomaly situation, so don't overreact.
Joe, when you first joined the Cubs organization, there was a lot of talent within the farm system. And throughout your course of managing here, guys have come up, Kyle Schwarber, Wilson Contreras. Is there a buzz when these guys start to come up for you that you kind of have a new toy to play with?
Oh, I love it. It's really fun working with young, talented players. We were loaded with them. I mean, last night's game had about 4 or 5. We played last year with them only 6 or 7 on the field at one time. It's exciting. There's normally a lot of energy involved with that. There's normally a lot of mistakes. There's a lot of inexperience. There's a lot of mistakes. But you got to fight through that, and a lot of that's conversational. But I prefer that method. When you have that and a bunch of young, inexperienced guys win a World Series like they did last year, and even though we struggled a bit to this point, they're going to keep getting better, and that's what I'm looking at. Their energy's good, their work ethic's spectacular, their accountability cannot be better. So for all those different reasons, I'm always excited about this group.
Speaking of that kind of buzz, we talked in spring training about Ian Happ being a guy that's on the radar this year. And he obviously got off to a great start. I know he's on a 7-day DL and his bank came back, but is he a guy that's in any sort of discussions?
Not yet, but yes and no. I mean, of course we discussed him, but not right now. I mean, coming out of spring training, he definitely made his mark. I firmly believe he's well and he's playing and he's doing almost half of what he had been doing. He's definitely a strong consideration. He'll be up here at some point, I'm sure.
Skip, do you reminisce when you come to Colorado about what was it, the summer of '75?
Yes. Well, I over-romanticize. I'm Michael Scott. I really am. I am Michael Scott. The more I really break it down, over-romanticize everything. It's one of my faults. It's my fault. It's a fault of mine. No, I mean, you landed, well, should have landed at Stapleton last night, which would have been much better. I mean, it's a beautiful airport, but it's like going from one city to another to play a minor league game. It's like that far. It's like we could have got off the bus and played last night. It was that long of a ride. But I remember landing at Stapleton, Benny Hines picking me up, Baldy 65, Pontiac driving up to Boulder, and going right to his Mexican food stand there and having a burrito for the first time in my life, and being in Boulder with a headache and from the light air and 5 other catchers and being scared out of my mind. It was great. It was absolutely great. And I wish there was more time to get up there now. I would have gone up to Boulder. I mean, Boulder equals Colorado. I mean, I love Denver, but Boulder equals Colorado for me. And getting up there to the Dark Horse or something would have been wonderful. Whenever my wife's out here with me, we go up. That's where I proposed to her, in the Baseline Liquor Store parking lot, one knee, in front of Baldy's office. Because I couldn't find Scotty Carpenter and I couldn't find CU in the middle of the night, 30 years after the fact. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't find it. And so I didn't, that's why which was even better though. I mean, being Baldy used to sit up till the wee hours of the morning, him drinking squirt, me drinking whatever, and ordering a pizza, and just talking about everything. So this is really where I got my start. By being able to play here in that summer, permitted me to play professional baseball. There's no doubt in my mind. So I got this huge warm fuzzy about this place, and I love it. I think it's beautiful, everything about it. If you could just control the flight of the baseball, it would better be even better. Although I was a power hitter here.
So that was Joe Madden speaking with the media just over an hour ago, and there has been an update on Jason Hayward, who has officially been placed on the 10-day DL with a sprained finger that is retroactive to May 6th. And the Cubs have selected the contract of right-handed pitcher Dylan Floro from AAA Iowa. And one other move, I guess the guys are getting busy with the rain delay, huh? The Cubs also acquired right-handed pitcher Justin Hancock from the Padres for outfielder Matt Caesar. Now, you heard just a little bit ago Lynn and JD talking about Anthony Rizzo. He is in the lineup tonight after taking that Aroldis Chapman pitch to the forearm, 99-mile-an-hour pitch, if you will, and he said, yes, it is sore, but no more sore than being hit by any other pitch, which is kind of hard to believe, but he says it's not broken, so what's the worst he can do now? But it was a late night, of course, for all of the guys, Anthony Rizzo included, but he was able to wake up and announce some very special news for the Anthony Rizzo Foundation. Take a look here from Twitter. Both the Anthony Rizzo Foundation tweeting out, as well as the Lurie Children's Hospital, that the Anthony Rizzo Foundation excited to announce a $3.5 million endowment to Lurie Children's Hospital that will ensure much needed resources will be available for generations. And then Lurie's Children's Hospital, of course, tweeting out, thank you, Rizzo Foundation, for your $3.5 million endowment to help our cancer patients and families. And here was Rizzo just describing how far the foundation has come.
We've done a lot of special things to give back to families that really need help, and you know, to be able to grow the foundation to what it is in Chicago with all the support is just something I envisioned when I was younger, but now that we're doing all of this, it's crazy to say that we're actually donating, you know, over $4 million to one hospital and close to over $5 million in total donations.
Yeah, great work the Rizzo Foundation continues to do. Well, it'll be Jake Arrieta getting the start for the Cubs tonight, and of course with a taxed bullpen, you know they would love to see Arrieta go deep in this game tonight against the Rockies. Here's a look at the last time through for the rotation. Arrieta had one of his best starts last time out. John Lester, great last night, 7 innings pitched, 120 pitches. You can see Brett Anderson, Kyle Hendricks, John Lackey, still looking for all of these guys to go a little deeper. And Jake Arrieta was asked about the rotation, saying collectively we're not throwing the ball as well as we would like, but it's a good sign we're at where we are because everyone is grinding and working hard. They're not throwing the ball as crisp as we're capable as a staff, but we're confident things will change for the positive. So certainly the entire rotation knowing they'd like to get a little deeper in ball games, but feeling good about themselves considering they're still pulling out some W's here while they don't have their best stuff. But as you can see behind me, rain's still coming down at a pretty good clip here in Colorado. Take a look. Yes, very sloshy out there. We continue to be in a weather delay here in Denver, Colorado. We're going to head back to the CSN studios for a bit after this and hopefully be talking to you soon with some baseball on the way here on CSN.
Cubs rain delay on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by Reynolds Wrap. Reynolds Wrap has you covered.
Make meal magic from start to finish with the one and only Reynolds Wrap.
Can you feel something without touching it? See something with your eyes closed. When everything is designed around you, the driver, you can. The new Mazda 3.
Now get the 2017 Mazda 3 for 0% APR for 60 months plus $500 APR bonus cash.
Hi, it's Pat Hughes at Benny's Beverage Depot along with Joe Madden. How emotional did you feel after the game was over?
It's surreal. It is. It's when your dreams come true. You get there, all of a sudden, okay, yeah, he did catch that ball. Yeah, the game is over. There are no more innings. There's no more games. You've won the World Series, man. Nobody could adequately process it immediately after it occurs. I think that's impossible. So I was able to go down by my dad's grave and just talk to him a little bit. And I think at that point, it was most obvious to me that we had won the World Series.
Anything that can happen will happen. Anything that can happen did happen.
What's next?
What's next? What's next?
Hey there, David Kaplan, David DeJesus back in our downtown Chicago studios. Kyle Schwarber turned in one of the best catches last night against the Yankees, going headfirst into the crowd and left. That got us thinking about some of our favorite Cubs catches of the last 10 years. We begin way back in 08 in the nation's capital. Reed Johnson became a Cubs legend when he laid out from the gap in left center. No regard for his safety. Smashes in, his cap gets bent up. I mean, that is a ridiculous catch.
Wow, that's
and
the
he
first.
still hangs on.
I haven't seen this in a while, and he comes up looking ridiculous hat flip up, but man, that's Reed. I remember playing with him, and he's just a guy that's going to play as hard as he can, try and make every catch, and I mean, he was a great player, that's for sure.
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
I mean,
that's one of my favorites.
Oh.
Okay, here's Anthony Rizzo's tarp catch back in 2015 against the Brewers. Tracks it down, climbs the tarp, falls into the crowd, throws the ball back in, and he's lucky he didn't like roll an ankle with the seats right there.
Or spike somebody.
Or spike somebody. Right.
That's a big
the
dude.
seat can flip up and you twist your ankle.
Yeah.
Then Rizzo outdid himself with another tarp catch. This time he goes to the wall.
Yeah, that one's way better than the other one.
Who's that bald guy right there?
Where are you? We need to find you right there.
Crazy.
Is that you right there, that bald guy right?
Bald guy to the far right. You just might get cut off right there.
That's
an
a heck of a play.
amazing catch. All right, almost a year ago, back on May 20th, in his first season as a Cub, Jason Hayward showed off his Gold Glove skills in a highlight reel catch that ended up knocking him out for a few days. Did not end up on the DL. Jammed his shoulder. You can see he's in pain, but he finds a way to make a play.
Yeah, that right field gap seems like it never ends in San Francisco. That if you just keep going, man, fortunate enough that he didn't break that arm or something way more.
Yeah, collarbone.
Yeah, like I ran into a wall one time, took my collarbone out. I mean, he's lucky.
You broke your collarbone?
Broke my collarbone against the Mets.
Did you know right away?
Yeah, I caught it, slammed into the wall, and I felt it just crumble.
All right, here's the Javi Baez Derek Jeter impersonation. He makes that catch in Miami. That was a big-time play, but at least, unlike the Schwarber one last night, Baez at least knew where he was at.
He got to the wall, stood, and jumped.
And then this one last year, Addison Russell, bases loaded, and he makes the grab, and it was big time. I think it was Justin Grimm on the mound, I think, if I remember correctly, and he was jacked.
Just his response afterwards, that fist pump, that just watching it, man, I want to get back out on that field and make a play like that.
Right. Unbelievable. Yeah. And then, of course, last night, Kyle Schwarber, I mean, this one's pretty spectacular. Twice, to look at the wall, and then over the wall, into the stands, and then show it. See how he looks?
Yeah, looks, boom, and then come on, bring it up.
Let me tell you something. People can say that guy can't play the outfield. That's pretty damn impressive when you twice take your eye off the ball, find the wall, make the play.
Yeah, for a guy that you're saying that he can't play the outfield and making a play like that, that's an amazing play. And look at the fans bowing to him out there in left field, and those guys get the credit too for staying that whole game.
Yeah, no question about it. All right, Schwarber's catch was definitely in the must-see category, but it's not alone. That entire game was bananas. Here's a look at last night's marathon, 18 innings at the Confines.
And what a night for baseball. What a series we've seen so far. Could we be looking, at a World Series preview?
Nothing like not being in the starting lineup and taking a BP, say, 5 hours ago on a freezing cold night, and then being asked to come off the bench against Aroldis Chapman.
Almora lines one towards center field. That's a base hit. A run is going to score. Going to third is Jay. An RBI single for Albert Almora Jr. And now it's a 4-2 ball game. It's not over yet. The runners lead, and the pitch. A swing and a ground ball, left field base hit. Almora around second. He was running with the pitch. Almora safe at third. Run scoring single Baez. It's a 4-3 ball game.
Hit him in the arm, and that brings in the tying run, and Rizzo in a lot of pain. And that's all for Chapman. He may have been a Cub and a guy they loved last year. He's not that now. Headley pops one up down the left field line, and what an effort! Did he come up with it? He's got it! What a catch! Schwarber makes a phenomenal catch!
This is Derek Jeter-esque, is he?
And he knows it's coming. I mean, that's the thing. It's not like you see guys sometimes go over because they're just watching the ball and it just hits them off guard. He knew it was coming. He saw it.
That's as good as it gets.
I was trying to check for the wall, and I thought I was going to stop at the time, but I just fell over. So luckily I landed on the flat ground and felt good.
Our ball game here has gone deep into the night. It is now midnight locally. Tommy LaStella's got his rally batting helmet going here as we go to the bottom of the 17th inning. Rally catcher's mask. You know what? I think people are starting to go a little squirrely down there. Ground ball to short, runner coming home, throw is wide, and the Yankees have the lead. 18th inning, Chasen Shreve facing Kyle Hendricks with the tying run at second and the winning run at first. Swing and a miss, and it is over. The Yankees win it in 18 innings. They blew a lead in the ninth, but they eventually win it 9 innings later in a very strange, memorable night.
All right, nothing like stats in a game like that to put it in perspective. The 48 combined strikeouts, most in a game in the history of the sport. The 18 innings represented the longest interleague game in baseball history. The Yanks had 7 pitchers with 2 or more strikeouts. That's the most for a game in the history of the game. And the Cubs fell to 12-11-2 all-time in 18-inning games. Here's Anthony Rizzo after all was said and done.
I know we lost, but you got to try to have fun with it. It's 18 innings, both sides. Our bullpen very short, and them giving us a solid performance. John pitching deep, so we just didn't win.
A crazy game. It would have been nice to have won it. We've lost 2 crazy games against these guys on this homestand, and what are you going to do, man? Just move it forward.
What a ball game. Just before 8 a.m. on a typical morning in April, Colt Kyler got out of bed to do his chores. He put on his baseball uniform. He checked the water for his pigs, then played baseball all day long after taking care of the pigs. The diehard Cubs fan had no idea what was about to happen next. It's a story. It's almost too good to be true.
140 miles from Wrigley Field is a picturesque small town in Indiana. Population of about 1,000. Pierceton is home to the Kyler family and their hard-working 9-year-old son, Colt. The All-American bond of baseball is shared between Colt, his dad, and the rest of the family, with a special passion for the Chicago Cubs.
Hey guys, I would like to introduce you to my pigs, Ivory, and this is Ebony.
This is where Colt received the present of a lifetime, the gift of Cubs tickets. What happened next turned this special father-son moment into an overnight social media sensation.
I didn't really even know what it was. I was just kind of excited to see what it was. I was suspicious.
What is it, Colt? What is it? Me and Daddy are going to Wrigley Field. What are they playing? The Cardinals, the St. Louis Cardinals.
I just thought he'd be really excited, and I knew he might get emotional.
Thank you.
I thought it was cool, and I thought I was really emotional, and I thought the pigs in the background was funny.
His reaction was pretty much, I don't know, it was priceless. It was kind of what I expected, only on a higher level, like the emotion part of it.
Colt's mom, Natalie, recorded the video for one reason, so his older sisters would be able to see their brother's dream come true. And when big sister Hannah posted the video on Twitter, the Cubs, their players, and the entire world were watching.
We had no idea that Hannah sharing it would just go crazy like the way it did.
They were all saying, "Hey Colt, you're on my TV. Hey Colt, you're on the news. Hey Colt."
I think it's nice to see. I think people appreciate seeing something good, you know, in the news. It makes me really proud of the people that take the time to look at it.
Colt's video has been on TV locally, nationally, and written about from coast to coast. John Lester, Anthony Rizzo, and Chris Bryant have all contacted him, offering up their personal seats, batting practice passes, and the chance to meet the boy that will be making his very first trip to Wrigley Field.
I've been feeling really excited and happy about it.
It's just been heartwarming. I mean, not just from our community, but from the Cubs. When they interacted with the boys on Twitter, that was just the best part, almost the best part for me. The video itself was the best, but when they were playing along with the boys, that just made their day. And they didn't have to do that. You know, they could have just let the Cubs handle everything, but the individual players that were, you know, reaching out to us.
We're just normal people here doing normal everyday things, and we look up to these guys, all of us do. And for them to take time to step down and talk to us, that's pretty awesome.
Do you know Anthony Rizzo's phone number?
What do you need Anthony Rizzo's phone number for?
To call him and see if he wants to come over to our house.
Colt's entire family can't wait to head to Clark and Addison. And the 3-hour road trip can't come soon enough.
They've been saying that it's like the prettiest place in the world. It's gonna be awesome.
Up next, the friendly confines. Stay tuned.
That's so phenomenal. You know, I'm in that press box. You played on the field. And there are so many media people you hear go, oh, I got to go to work today. You work at Wrigley Field. It can't get much better, and you see what it means to that little kid. It's pretty cool.
I mean, that's an emotional piece. Just putting yourself in that situation, being a dad, and just wanting to reward your son coming to the park, and then as a player, taking that role as, hey, man, we got to get out there and just love on these kids. This is their dreams, and if we can be a part of that, that was amazing. I loved it.
Loved it. John Lester, sit in my seats. Anthony Rizzo, I got batting practice passes for you.
Man.
For the latest news and updates on your World Series champions, subscribe to the Cubs Talk podcast featuring me, Kelly Crow, Patrick Mooney, Tony Andracki, and a whole lot more. Available on Apple Podcasts or the Google Play Store. That's going to do it from here. Send it out to Len Casper, Coors Field, for an update.
Cap, thank you. It unfortunately is raining a little harder at the moment, so we continue to be in a rain delay before the Cubs and the Rockies open up a 3-game weekday series. The Cubs just got swept at home by the Yankees coming off a 3-4 homestand. The Rockies are 20-12, and they're 2.5 games up on the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks in the National League West. Hopefully we'll get this one in tonight. Coming up next, Inside Look with Kyle Hendricks, and we'll continue to have updates from Coors Field here in Denver.
Hello and welcome to Inside Look, presented by Cadillac. I'm David Kaplan. After spending time on both coasts, Kyle Hendricks now calls the Midwest his home, on and off the playing field. His unique and analytic approach to pitching in the major leagues has earned him respect around Major League Baseball and has him on a very short list of candidates for the 2016 Cy Young Award. This is his story. If you go back to when you were 12, you start working with a guy named Clyde Wright, the salty former Angels pitcher. And one of the quotes I found from him and from your dad was he had to use his fastball to set up his changeup. Now he uses his changeup to set up his fastball. But you were at 82 miles an hour, you start doing exercises, and now you're getting up into the high 80s. Is that when you first started believing you could make money at this game?
Right about then, you know, late in high school, more in college. When I got into my later college years, I realized, okay, I might have a chance at least to play in pro ball. And if you get a chance to play in pro ball, you never know what could happen, you know. But yeah, Clyde was instrumental for me. He taught me how to use my fastball from a very young age, and he also taught me how to throw my curveball, which was a big pitch for me all the way through high school. I kind of abandoned it a little bit in college, a little bit in pro ball, and now I'm starting to use it more and more actually today. So a lot of things he taught me, I mean, are actually showing up now in my game, which you know, I have to thank him a lot for. But at the end of the day, yeah, learning how to use my fastball, my changeup has become my next go-to pitch. So kind of those working off of each other, and at times making my changeup, you know, throwing my changeup to set up my fastball, like you said. It's been a different game plan. It just keeps hitters off balance for me to not throw my sinker in there on expected counts, I guess.
So take me back to your childhood. You're a California kid. Dad is a golf pro. And he says to you, hey, I'm calling you out of school today. You're going to play in this Torrey Pines Pro-Am with Rory Sabatini. And you're hitting drives where they're like, who is this kid? Take me back to that.
Yeah, that was a fun day. You know, my dad he was a golf pro, you know, all the time I was growing up. So I had golf clubs in my hand, the plastic ones, when I was 2. That's all I was doing was swinging golf clubs. But he could even see it once I started getting 7, 8, and baseball started picking up. That really was my love. And I could spend all day out on a baseball field, whereas going to a driving range, putting in the work at golf, I really wasn't a fan of. But that day in particular, it was in high school, maybe my junior, senior year. Yeah, he called me up, said, taking you out of school, you're going to go play? I said, hell yeah, why not? So we go down to Torrey Pines, play with Rory Sabatini, and I played really good that day. I got lucky. I think he ended up shooting 71, Rory.
You shot 73.
I shot 73, and I was coming for him on the back there. I think I shot even on the back, I think. But it was fun, you know, just competing, having some fun out there. I really don't put a lot into golf, I would say, you know, but it's processed from there. A lot of these guys on the staff, they like to play, you know, so when we go on the road trips, it's good competition getting out there with the guys every once in a while.
When you're able to do that at that age against a guy who obviously is accomplished as a pro golfer, it never crossed your mind that, wow, baseball is going to be a tough road. I might be able to do this.
Maybe it was in the very back of my mind, you know. I knew what I wanted to do, though, even from that age. Baseball was it. I loved it. Like I said, I knew going into something that you couldn't put all the time in, like, you know, like golf, if I wasn't going to be out on the range all the time and really love it and enjoy it, why was I going to put myself through that? So I said, you know what, baseball is what I love, and I saw a path for me. I saw where it was going into college and possibly pro ball. So I said, you know what, take this opportunity and just make the most of it.
And you end up at Dartmouth. How does a kid from California, there's great schools in California, how do you end up at Dartmouth as, I think, did you get a degree in economics?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, econ. It's good, you know, obviously different ends of the U.S. there, but I had a couple schools in California. University of San Diego was my second choice, so KB and I think he was obviously a year or two younger than me, but we could have played there for at least a year together, I think. What the decision came down to, I guess, academics number one, you know, just having to turn down that kind of school was very tough to do. But honestly, almost just as important for me was the ability to play right away. San Diego was a big baseball program. Coming out of high school, I wasn't highly touted. I knew I was going to have to get the reps, you know, be seen as much as possible, I guess. San Diego, like I said, big baseball program like that, you never know. You could be sitting out your whole freshman year, maybe some of your sophomore year even. I didn't know for development what that was going to do for me, so took the chance. Like I said, went for academics number one to Dartmouth, but I knew I'd have a good chance to play as a freshman. Played my whole freshman year, sophomore year. Obviously, I wouldn't change the path for anything now.
Were there people that doubted you where you went, I'm going to prove all of you wrong, I can make it, or did those doubts ever creep into your mind?
There's select times, I guess, where doubts creep into your mind. That's human nature, you know. When you're going through tough times, can't find a way to get anybody out, it seems like. But that's when the times where you learn more about yourself. By the time you come out of those ruts, you've learned more about what you need to do to be successful. So I really, yeah, there were times I maybe doubted myself, but overall, obviously there were a lot of doubters. But you can't blame them. I mean, people are going to come along and say this, say that. At the end of the day, you have to know what you want to do and stay true to who you are. I always had a trust in myself. The coaches I had that were put around me always trusted me. They saw the ability I had, what I could do pitching-wise. So when it doesn't jump out on paper with all the stuff, you know, don't be so quick to just push it to the side, maybe.
How do you get to work with Clyde Wright? Rod Carew talk to you? Is that because of the golf relationship with your dad or some other way?
Yeah, the Rod Carew, actually, my dad grew up in Minnesota, so Rod was like his idol growing up. My dad was a big baseball fan, obviously. But Rod just happened to go into my dad's golf club one day to play and pulled out his credit card. My dad recognized him, obviously, and my dad was like, I had to stop him. Rod, I'm sorry, man, I got to introduce myself. And Rod is just the nicest guy on the planet, obviously. So that began in high school. He wanted to come out. My dad actually brought him out to our high school field. You know, I got to meet him, and then he wanted to work with me a little bit. I said, why not? How can you turn that down from a Hall of Famer? So he actually worked with me on some bunting, which I knew obviously I was going to want to pitch. So he wanted to give me some hitting lessons, which I took, but I knew those weren't going to pan out too well, obviously, as you can see. I knew I was always going to pitch. So the bunting aspect, and I still use some of the tips he's taught me today. But he's an unbelievable guy. He's always willing to help. It was a big help for me when I was younger.
All right, so you're an 8th round draft pick of the Texas Rangers. You head down there, and your mind is, I'm going to pitch for the Rangers someday. Then all of a sudden, phone rings, and hey, thanks for everything. We just traded you to the Chicago Cubs. Take me to that day.
That was a wild one. That was my first full year in pro ball. I was in high A. And usually, you know, as a young guy, especially your first full year, you're not expecting to get traded. It wasn't on my radar at all, or Christian Villanueva, who was the other guy traded with me. We showed up to a road trip. We had just gotten there day one, about a 6-hour bus ride out of the way. As soon as we show up to the field, go out, play catch. As soon as I'm done, come in, call us both in the manager's office. And it happened all right, you know, it was a whirlwind experience, really. Like I said, since I wasn't expecting it, got on the phone with the GM, talked to him, you know, told me what was going on. They said, all right, you and Villa, grab all your stuff, and as soon as you can get down to Florida, you're going to Daytona Beach with the Cubs. You know, so I had some family, had to call the family, let them know. They were all shocked. They didn't know what was happening either, really. But it provided a huge opportunity for me. It opened up a lot of doors. A lot of those pitching coaches I talked about in the minor leagues that I worked with were in this Cubs organization coming up in the minor leagues. So, you know, if I would have stayed with Texas, who knows what that path would have looked like, but getting the opportunity and getting traded over here, working my way up AA, AAA with the resources we had here, obviously worked out
So when
great.
they call you into the manager's office, you have no idea why.
Mm-hmm. No, it was the day of the deadline, July 31st. So
did that cross your mind then?
I knew it was the deadline, and when I got called in, it crossed my mind maybe, but you're still like, what the heck? I mean, you weren't thinking about it at all yourself getting traded. So it starts finally creeping in there as you're walking in the door, and then they hit you with it. They tell you, and you know, your wheels just start spinning. You know, where am I going from here? What's happening? Yeah, whirlwind experience, to say the least.
So the day of the trade, a good friend of mine is a guy named Dan Evans. He calls me up and he said, did you just text me about Kyle Hendricks? I said, I did. The Cubs just acquired him. He's like, oh my God. He said, I've represented him. I've been involved with him. They just made an unbelievable trade. I'm telling you, that guy's going to be a big-time part of what the Cubs do. Take me back to dealing with him and starting to get here and in the minors going, I can be part of something historic.
Yeah, that was Dan Evans. Yeah, he helped me out a lot after I got drafted. He was a really awesome guy, had a lot of faith in me. He was one of those guys, you know, that could see my pitchability from a young age. So, but coming over this Cub system, you saw it early. I was called into a January camp with a lot of rookies. You know, the front office kind of put it on through Theo, really. But preparing the rookies and the young guys for what was to come and what could happen historically, you know, if the plan they were putting in place were to come to fruition, which obviously we're seeing this year. But, you know, this process has been in place for years. And a lot of the things we did in January there, working with mental skills guys, working interview-wise, I mean, just to get ready for all these outside forces that approach you, not only in the major leagues, but if you were to go on to a World Series and win all, you know, there's a lot of things coming at you. They really prepare you for that from a young age in this organization, and it's helped me a lot. Just be comfortable from day one when I stepped in this clubhouse, got along with all the guys, kind of taking it from there. So yeah, obviously you see what happens on the field, but all of the background stuff plays as big of a role, I think, in where the team is today.
Hit escape with great deals on great gear, like Oakley Holbrook sunglasses for under $70, only at Bass Pro Shops.
Get in the game with Cricket Wireless. We've got more 4G LTE coverage than T-Mobile or Sprint. And if you switch now, you can get a brand new smartphone for free with plans that start at only $30 per month. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
Inside the rack houses of Jim Beam, thousands of barrels lay silent. But that doesn't mean they lay idle. In fact, inside each and every Jim Beam barrel, the bourbon is aging, building a fuller, smoother flavor that only comes from being aged 4 long years. At Jim Beam, our history's made from the inside. How will you make yours?
Test drive the new Mini Countryman sports activity vehicle today at your local Mini dealer.
Theo came into our TV studio. This is back in, you'd already been traded to the Cubs. And he says, look, I know everyone's looking at us going, we're not very good here. He said the Cubs are coming hard, the Cubs are coming strong. And you talk to our minor league guys, the Cubs way is real. What do you remember about that?
Yeah, the Cubs way, you know, those words, they've always had phrases, sayings, things that really register with the young guys to keep them moving forward in the right way. It's always been team-oriented from the minor leagues. You know, you're always trying to make it as an individual player, but to create that team feel in the lower levels is very difficult to do. So that's where I think the minor league personnel, again, not only the pitching coaches I had, the managers, everybody to the scouts in this organization, top to bottom, everybody knows what they're doing, is one goal in mind. And really, when you're working together that well, then you see the product come together on the field. So I think this plan was supposed to take a lot longer, but with some of these young guys, these position players we got, man, you saw it winning 97 games last year. It just ramped up the process. So they saw that last year, saw all the progress we made in the playoffs, kind of how all the young guys handled it, the experience. Coming into this year, obviously the free agent acquisitions they made to bolster the team and just say, here you go. Here's your opportunity to go for it this year. It's really, the guys feel all the resources we have available to us and what we can accomplish with that.
Coming into this year, Joe said embrace the target. You knew there was going to be a target on this team. This was not last year, hey, that was really cool. They won 97 games, but no one expected it. What was your offseason like to take it to another level and to deal with the pressure here? Because it's there.
Yeah, absolutely. The offseason was way different. Like you said, the one before, no expectation really. Just getting the process started with a lot of us young guys coming up onto the team. After 97 wins, last offseason much different. A lot of hype with the free agents we got. Obviously, expected to be the best team in baseball almost. So yeah, from spring training day one, that's kind of Joe's thing. You know, he knows how to create the right environment for a team to thrive and to succeed. And so all these little sayings, embrace the target, don't let the pressure exceed the pleasure. All these things we really take to heart, and we know that we have to implement that to have success on the field, because it is a game at the end of the day. You have to enjoy it and you have to play loose, you know, if you're going to play your best. So yeah, dealing with the expectations, I think since we've dealt with it so far through the regular season, all this experience has helped us hopefully going into the postseason, because it's just going to be more of the same.
Have you ever looked around the clubhouse? Now here's this guy who's an economics degree from Dartmouth, and there's all different types of guys in there. John Lackey, I didn't come here for a haircut, I came here for jewelry. Let's get it on. Do you ever look at those guys and go, man, there's a bunch of different personalities?
100%. Everybody's so different, you know. But at the end of the day, they all have great values, and we're all really great guys. Everybody in that clubhouse is a great guy, and there's so many great relationships that have formed because of that. The team is so close, you know. I've been on other teams, not many obviously since I'm young, but this one in particular, guys go out outside the field so much to hang out, which you don't see a lot, I think, from other teams. Like I said, we have a lot of special guys that really get along, and the one goal in mind and the pushing each other, you know, to work hard to get to that end goal and accomplish it, I think is what we're all here for.
Tell me about your relationship with your dad, because I ran into him at a charity event I emceed back early June, and he said, I was listening to you the other day on the air. You said something nice about my kid. Let me just tell you something. You haven't seen nothing yet, and here you're having this phenomenal season. Tell me about that relationship.
We've always had a good relationship. You know, he's gotten me from day one. We moved around a lot. He was a golf pro, like I said. That comes along with moving jobs, having to move through different states. So everywhere we would get up and go to, his number one job was getting me on the right team, whatever I needed to have the resources for me to play baseball. So he was always getting me great coaching, great teams to really play for, great organizations, I guess, you know, kids organizations to be a part of. And those resources he provided me with really opened up a world for me to just explore pitching and explore baseball. He was always there for me by my side, you know, pushing me, telling me. He always had confidence in me from day one. And like you just said, you know, even when I got in the big leagues. He gets nervous, he comes to the games, he doesn't know what to expect all the time, but at the end of the day, he's obviously one of my biggest fans, always supported me. I know he'll be here till the end.
Welcome to Elk Grove Village. Our growing industrial park is the largest in North America. It makes sense. We're close to O'Hare, major highways, and rail lines, putting us first class in business class. We appreciate that a strong business park means a high quality of life for village residents. It's what motivates us to be beyond business friendly. Elk Grove Village, makers wanted.
In case you need anything, just give me a call.
P.O. Box 17. Of course I'm a real company.
You got the area code.
Everything your customers see tells a story. Let the UPS store help you tell the right one. From business cards and banners to expertly packed shipments to mailboxes with a real street address. Come in today for help.
We, the entertainment-loving people, want all our rooms to be TV rooms. Because those are the best rooms. Because they have TVs in them. And when we're not in those rooms, we want our shows to go with us.
Anywhere?
You got that right, Kid Show thing.
Get a DirecTV all-included package for 4 rooms, only $25 a month. Price guaranteed for 2 years. Available for AT&T Unlimited Plus customers.
Greg Maddux, that's the comparison people like to say to you. He pitches like Greg Maddux. We're talking about one of the 10 greatest pitchers in the history of the sport. Do you say no, or no, I embrace that, that's amazing?
A little bit of both, honestly. I embrace it 100%. It's very humbling that people say that about me. Also, on the other hand, the career he's had, I have a long, long way to go till that. So you have to push it to the side in that aspect, but I can see the pitchability, how he used to use his 2-seam, pitching in and out, mixing speeds with guys. I think a big part of what I've learned from Greg is his mental approach to the game. He had a lot of simple thoughts. You know, he tried to go out there and make good pitches. I think that was one of his basic thoughts out there. That's really how I try and pitch when I go out there. You know, when you have all these convoluted thoughts coming up in your head, you got the hitter up there trying to do this to you, it's just too much going on, you know. And when things are going good, it gets a lot easier. Obviously, you have the confidence that comes along with it. So when you're rolling and you have simple thoughts and you're out there just trying to make good pitches, things kind of fall into place.
Have you ever had a chance to sit down with him and talk at length?
I haven't yet. I haven't met him. Hopefully one of these days I would love to talk to him. Like I said, probably more about the mental, because at the end of the day, I'm my own pitcher, I have my own routine, but I think the mental part of the game is where you can really draw and connect and learn from a lot of guys.
If I could set you up and you could have dinner with 2 or 3 people, just you guys go off, get a bottle of wine, whatever it is, and you could have dinner with anyone, living or dead, who would the people be at the table?
Maddux is one of them. I would probably love to have him there. A lot of these guys that just really pitch, Pedro Martinez was one of my favorite pitchers growing up. His bulldog mentality, almost how he approached it, so he might be one I throw in there. Jake Peavy was one of my favorite pitchers growing up too. His bulldog mentality, how he took the mound every day. Those are just a couple off the top of my head.
Anybody outside the sports world?
Outside the sports world.
Is there a musician, an actor, somebody you go?
I mean, my favorite, Will Ferrell, my favorite actor. I don't know how much I could learn about baseball from him.
Right.
But we could get him in the group maybe as comic relief.
Favorite movie?
Favorite movie, Step Brothers. Probably hilarious.
In most everything that he does?
Pretty much. Anything he does, I'll watch, yeah.
Dream vacation that you'd like to do? Is it golf in Scotland or something else?
I think you nailed it. My dad and I have talked about it before. He's been over to Scotland a couple times. I've never been over to Europe at all. So I would love to travel to Europe, just period. But to go over there play golf, Scotland, I think that's definitely something I have to do one day.
ESPN does a Cy Young predictor, and they have 10 guys in the AL, 10 guys in the LA. They update it every single day, and your name is now on that list. I'm driving in this morning, MLB Network. The guy said, "For me, if I'm voting, it's Hendricks